I'm coming. Still, I'm coming to you. Hopefully so. Let's see. So we are not going to be actually doing the thing that the title says. We're actually going to be doing climbing, indeed. Hello there, people who haven't been probably seeing me for some while. Hello there. Hopefully you are doing all right. Hopefully so. The connection here is actually pretty good, you know, all things considered. So that's very good. Hope you are doing fine. I'm doing fine myself. It's a middle of summer. Doing some summer things here. I'm in a barn. Yes, this is a barn, right? There's even bats in here. Yeah. Bats. And I even saw a poisonous snake just a moment ago. So, you know, we have all that. All that going on over here. Hopefully you're doing fine. Let me actually try to do a few things. One of the things is that today we are working on climbing system for Final Fallacy. The game, indeed. And what is Final Fallacy? Well, it's a video game I'm working on with this company I'm doing called eluukkanen.
The crystal clear.
Crystal clear, hello! Are you hearing me? How are you doing? I'm hearing you, and actually not really hearing, but seeing you. Regards from Finland, indeed. We're having now our session just starting, and you are just in time to see what that is going to be. I've been kind of away a little bit, a while, and things have been going on. Not videos though, no streams though. So it's a stream in a long time. I want to get back to daily stuff, but we shall see how that will go. Glad to see you here. So basically our plan today is very simple. I'm hearing you, I'm great, how about you? Hey, I'm doing quite actually alright. Things have been changing in my life quite massively. I'm very positive on where this game is going. This game is actually doing pretty nicely that I'm doing. There's been some major developments there, which I cannot yet talk about because they're top secret. But rest assured, I'm in a very good position. I tell you that much. One of the things I'm not very good position is the kind of the YouTube stuff where on this place, but you know, getting back to it at least. That's the thing. That's what we're going to be doing. How about you? I'm great, you say. Well, good to hear. I mean, you know, in summer place here. Just yesterday, blueberries. Did some blueberry hunting and also some strawberries and also some farming and you know that sort of stuff. That's what we do here. That's what I do in the countryside. As you can see, I'm in a barn, and barn is of course a place where there's no animals in this barn. Essentially, I've been taking control for some while because you know it's a nice place. I like the acoustics here. You can do some good music stuff in here. There's some bats living in here. I'll gladly they're on that corner, so you know that's that. But you know that's nature. That's nature. I just saw a poisonous snake. I gladly didn't bite, but that's what there is, nature. But you know, aside from that, we're going to be working on today the video game stuff. In case you haven't been following eluukkanen streams or things I've done, basically I'm doing this major project, and this is the thing I'm currently main time focusing. I'm not studying, I'm not doing anything else, I'm focusing on this. And this is going to be probably a very big thing, and this game is Final Fallacy. It's an RPG adventure in a sort of like a post-apocalyptic medieval world. There's this sort of like a Roman Empire style of empire that is collapsing. You are in the middle of it, and you are doing big changes, big things in there. That's the kind of the description of it. But there's more than that. There are systems that I think games have been kind of lazy to try out on, and there's a huge, of course, focus on sort of like a D&D style of game that, you know, if you play Dungeons & Dragons paperback games, it's usually that, you know, there's a dungeon master, there are the players, they're all human players, there's no computers involved, and that's how the adventures usually become quite creative. And many games have been saying, oh, we cannot do that, we're simply gonna do that. Are we doing sprites today? No, actually, climbing systems should be the main thing. But yeah, basically, you know, in Dungeons and Dragons games, usually the thing is that, you know, when there's real people involved, they can make quite creative stories, and that's why people have loved it since when it was done. I think was it 60s or even before that. But the thing is, I'm making that here creative things that in a sense that there are many things that are connected and can affect to each other. You know, it's not just a scripted one-way route with a car. There's actually many routes that they are interconnected and so forth and so forth. And one of the things that we're going to be doing today is climbing system. And why climbing? Well, if you have played games like you know, Prince of Persia and these sort of games, that there's a lot of climbing involved. Usually, in some games, the climbing is kind of the main thing. I see. Oh yes, indeed. Usually in games, the climbing is kind of the main thing in there. But in Final Fallacy, it's kind of like not the main feature, but one of the things that if you have enough agility with your character, you can actually climb over objects that you couldn't normally do. And the game is built around that. Kind of like physics, but in a 2D world, so they are not really physics, they are just like a kind of imitating physics sort of fashion. Because of course, the game is 2D. So let's actually go on that and let's start doing. FF9 had climbing, that is important. Oh, it did? What sort of? Could you climb in every single spot? Because I think in that game you could only kind of climb in very limited spots, if that was even possible. In usually RPGs, that is how it works. I'm not, of course, sure about every single RPG. Let me know if there's other ones. But in this game, I'm making so that if you just have enough agility, like in Legend of Zelda, if you have played that, the Breath of the Wild, that sort of fashion, you can climb almost everywhere. That's the thing, and that's what we're working on. The perspective is 2D, so it's kind of a difficult one to do. And I have already had some systems done, but you know, please keep in mind this is not the final result that we're going to be having on there. I tell you. It's going to be still a lot of work, but hey, let's start doing it. Let's start creation process. Let me put this whole thing from the screen here, and let's start going on. Let me try to find it here. But yeah, great to have you here. Let's start. You know, I'm starting from small because of course I've been away for a little bit. I'm not really expecting like the hugest of audiences over here, but still, of course, the thing is, that's what we're doing. Have to be starting somewhere. Here we go. Let's put a like to our own stream. You know, of course, you have to like your own things. Now, let's go here, and this is basically the battlefield we're going to be having over here. And this might seem confusing, and there are vines and ladders that are climbable, and Shadow of the War you can climb almost anywhere. Yeah, that is also true. That is also true. But the game, this is kind of a different picture because basically this is a role-playing game, and differing to Shadow of the War where you have one character to play as. Of course, there are some characters in like minor characters and such, but here you can essentially create your own character. Not all characters can climb, mind you. So the game is designed so if you have climbing abilities, essentially you can have a much easier time going through some obstacles compared to people that, you know, just cannot climb. And still the game is playable for both ends, indeed. So major secrets are behind climbing, of course. Let us see how it's functioning. So, you know, keep in mind these sprites are not, you know, how it's going to look in the end. It's going to be just like the systems behind that. The spirit, the visuals are not what they are going to be. This is a training room that I have. I think you can see it. Yes, indeed. Here we go. And also the sound effects are not final. Every step I take is like pum, 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 pum. Normally it should do that. I'm going to be fixing that as well. But the main thing is basically that you can climb this wall, not from this point on, that's the thing. You cannot go like this and go forward, but the idea was that if you go on this position, you could essentially go up and such. And as you can see, it's not yet really functionable. I was able to get it kind of alright at some point when it functioned, but then there was a big problem of I could actually go here and climb in here, and then it could work and such. And I want to fix that. I want to actually get this now fixed, because, you know, I want the game kind of all surfaces to be somewhat climbable, indeed.
The crystal clear.
I'm playing
I am
FF9
playing
right now. I have
FF9
two
right
white
And I
mage
have
equipped
2 white
since
mages
someone
since
called
someone
Quina,
called Quia,
and
or
as
him
I call him
He
Quana.
left me, so I am
Qualna.
stuck with 2 white
Alright.
mags.
He left
Not a
me,
good
so I'm
strategy,
stuck
I
with
am.
2 mages. Not good strategy. IMO. What is IMO? Yeah, I'm from countryside. Who knows what is IMO? Some people I've seen that being used, but it's not LMO, I suppose. Yeah, the cryptic language of the internet, man. Let me know if that what this is. But yeah, nasty. I want to play FF9 at some point. It's a pretty good game, as I've heard. It's sort of like a fairy tale-esque, a little bit different from Final Fallacy, but still.
It means in my opinion.
In my opinion. All right, good to know. Thank you very much on that. Yeah, I'm illiterate in internet things. Now, let's try to. It's basically there's like some setups. Like if you try to go to wall, you can really go and kind of slip down and such. The thing is though, like the main thing is that you can kind of climb in here, but the problem is let me actually see. Yeah, let me actually see. Yeah, there's some problems as you can see. I just fell down. So what happened to your place? Jelly Duck, hello there. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure seeing you. Yeah, this is not my normal place. Yeah, no. This is basically a barn in a countryside place. They're like the top place of the barn. I like this place a lot. A good acoustic. I like really much. There's even some bats living here. I don't know why I took my computer here, but you know, it's nature. I just saw a deadly snake outside, so it's nature, yes. And you know, and I saw a bear, no, not a bear, but a bear 2 days ago. So thing is, it's nature, alright. How are you doing, Jelly Duck 100? Good to see you here. And yes, we are working on. This is not like a good yes, as you see. The problem is that you know the system, as I understand, you know, I don't even understand my own systems. I go here, I can kind of like. Hey, crystal clear. Everyone, I suppose that's a kind of like an emote sort of vision. I don't know, like for some reason this doesn't show emotes. So we go here. Basically, I can kind of climb here. Problem is that, you know, I can also climb and now I died. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't really understand my system even myself. So I've worked on this sometimes, occasionally, back and back again. Good to say, just editing some new video tutorials on GarageBand. I saw a notification on your GarageBand tutorial, haven't checked it yet. Been a busy beaver. I had a 100-year anniversary of a house a few days ago, and it was a huge party. So yeah, being away from YouTube side of things.
Hearing about bats.
Hearing bats. Are those bat noises? Or are those bird noises? I suppose. Haven't had problems with bats, you know, they do of course, they poop sometimes on places. Hey everyone, it says Corona sometimes. Huh? That's weird. That's weird, I don't know. But anyways, you know, there were some bats flying. I actually saw it one morning, and I just said hi to it, I suppose. But the thing is, like, they are not in this area, gladly. I think. Yeah. We shall hope they fear me. Let's see. Well, the thing is, yes, I don't understand my climbing system even myself, to be honest. So I have to kind of make it go well. If I understand right, the thing is that you can kind of climb if you press a certain button, which is called shift button. You know, I did this kind of off and on and off, in duration of many months, and I'm going to be making this kind of like a functioning today. I have 3 systems that actually is functionable. One of the things I'm actually, can I? No. The thing is here, there are some things I'm going to be showing later on, but now the main thing is I'm trying to climb up there. That's the thing. And when I try to climb up, I think it's like I don't know why I get stuck. But basically, I should be able to like move when I press a shift button on and go forward. But for some reason, it's not doing that, and for some reason I'm falling. Yeah, so there's a lot of things I need to be checking out. Let's actually check out what is the whole thing in here and see where it takes. Let me actually share this also to community of RPG making people. Possibly they might be interested in seeing some stuff here. Who knows? Who knows?
The crystal
How many
prince.
characters can you use
How
when
many
you battle
characters
at the
can you
same
use when you
time?
battle at the
In
same
this
time?
game you can have actually quite a lot, but I think minimum is like minimum that this can actually work with is maximum. I think at least let me see. So 8 on your side and 8 on the enemy's side. You can have some additional ways to actually increase it, but then the performance, I mean like not performance, but it gets more complicated. That's the thing. That's the thing. And currently we don't want to do that. I think 8 is quite enough, I actually have to tell. I've been doing some battles and 8 is very good. Otherwise it very much gets complicated.
Streamers.
And especially when there's like the movement
Want to
systems and
get
such,
green
it's
of
very
the
good to have
music.
8. On, 8 on other side, 8 on other side, so 16 in total. Climbing system creation. Indeed, let's share that, and that's for RPG Maker MV. We probably, shall we get anyone? Who knows? But the thing is, though, the main thing is that this is yet not working. Let me actually see how the system is functioning. So basically, when you go to region here, what program you use to make Final Fallacy, RPG Maker MV? RPG makers are usually down looked upon for many reasons. I think it's because it's very easy to use and many people make sort of, some people make complex games, some people make simple games. I'm making a bit more different than I think nobody has really done yet. I just tested some procedural generation yesterday and it worked. I've been able to get the performance good, swimming system works, and now I'm doing the climbing system. That is very important for this system. No Unity, not Unity. I want to use Unity at some point, perhaps when I do 3D games, but this engine has been working for me so far. Make sure. Take these boots off. They're kind of on the way. And now let's get on the meat and the grind of the action. The thing is, though, the idea is that, there are these areas. As you see, this is basically kind of the height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the idea is that when your height is on like over the 2, you're gonna fall if you stop holding a certain button.
I heard you didn't have any swimming animation, right?
No swimming animation, but I made kind of a system on a sense that it changes your sprite in a fashion, indeed. And it actually looks pretty nice. I'm going to be showing you, perhaps, in the end of the stream, what sort of actions I've been able to do. It's actually pretty good. It actually is pretty good, I have to say, even though I say so myself. And this is not good so far, that's the thing. I'm actually trying to still play test it and see in which position it goes wrong. The biggest position I see it going wrong is trying to climb up, and I think there's something going on with the system there. Let me actually try to do some setups here. So the player height is 1 and height is 1. Very good. Let's try to go on up there. Here we go. And I get stuck when I go to number 2, so that is a problem. That is a problem. So yeah, that's a problem. I get stuck. Possibly it might be because of some passability issues. We shall see. There's some errors here, as you can see. So let's try to go and solve those. The one thing I'm going to be doing is, of course, let's see what triggers the triggers. Let me see. Climbing and. Not this one though. I think it's let me see. Climbing system. Region 106, event 701. Let's go. Have you had any good climbing systems? Let me actually know, because the thing is, this should work, but it doesn't for some reason, at least right now. So we shall see how that is. Why that is.
Clear.
Climbing.
How many white mags you can use?
White mages. You can have in the beginning 3, and then you can have like 4 members of active battling people, and then you can have like up to 4 sort of NPC followers. In order to make it kind of balanced, it has to have only, I suppose, not like millions of battlers, but I suppose 4 white mages you can have, indeed. Is white mage your favorite? there's only one white mage in the
only
whole
one white
game.
mage in the
No,
whole
there's a
game,
lot
that is
of, but
clever.
it's not the same name. There's the white mage is not the name that the whole thing has. The name of the character is Saint, but basically does the same things,
The crystal
healing and
clear.
such. I see. Thank you.
I
Of
see,
course,
thank
of
you.
course. Of course, and no problem at all. Of course, you can have the different party combination is important. Now, let me see. So we have the climbing here. Climb. Here we go. Let's see. So this is when the climbing works. Let me try to see. This basically decides on how this whole thing works, and I think there's a problem in the possibility aspects on here, which makes the character kind of stop, which is not very good. So I'm going to be trying to change that. Let's see. Can I find where that is? Let's see. Do I find it? Because I've worked on this some time ago. That's the kind of the issue here. That's the issue. Let me see. Possibly, let me try to see. Do we have some kind of a hate tile sets here? Outside hate. This is not the one that I think I'm trying to find the one that I'm using this this climbing puzzle thing here. Let me try to see it. So basically, I don't understand this system because I used to work in it like 3 months ago, and now I'm actually kind of putting it together finally. Now let's see. So we have the climbing. I think let me try to see. Climb. Here we go. Here we go. Height 2, and I think they have a. We have made this sort of alright. Let's see. So yeah, let me try to see which system it has on here, which tile it has. 11, level 1. Let's see what that is. 11. Let's go 11. Here we
The
go.
crystal clear.
Let's make it passable so we can
Will
see how it
Kuraga
goes.
be as in spell for a white mage?
Not Kuraga. This, of course, Final Fantasies and such. They have the Kuraga spells and such. Final Fantasy it has the Kuraga spells, and this game has very different spells. But basically, there's some healing spells. There's actually quite a lot of spells. The water magic is one of the magic styles that essentially does the white mage's healing prosperities. Indeed, when you need those. So that let's not show that. Just seeing how that works. So now let's open the game and see. Where's the problem? Because there's a problem in this climbing system right now. I don't want it to be climbable all the time in every single position, but only like when you are on the top of the, like, depending on your height when you climb, it has to be a certain way. Let me see. So I'm only going like pressing up button and seeing what happens. Okay, I cannot move forward because, of course, I cannot really. If I just like walk on a wall, it does like that. Yes, that's how it works. But if I press climbing button and up, basically I have climbed now on the top of this place. Very good. And now I'm trying to go down without pressing the climbing button. Okay, that is not what it should do. That's actually a problematic situation. It should actually make you fall. That's the thing. That is the thing, and it's not doing that, and that is actually a very problematic situation. Let's see, let's go to 105. 105. Are you a very healing sort of personality? I tell you, you can actually have a whole party with healers. It's gonna be difficult, though, but it's possible. It's possible to do some stuff with that, indeed. Some actually, if you want to do some services, like try to heal people and such in other villages, at least that's what my plan is, that you can do that as kind of a thing that, people are very appreciative of. Let me see, so let's go to 105. I'm going to be taking this off to just see the effect that there is. I want that if you go down, you're actually going to be like falling. I don't remember this system properly, so I need to be, of course, very much checking how it works and functions, indeed. The movement is important. Let's see, let's go. Alright, here we go. Alright, very good. Now we are climbing. And that was very quick climbing. I'm going to be making the speed much lower, of course, but that's how it's done. The best character I have is Pullum and Palum. Let me actually search those online. FF4. F4. F4. Pullum and Pallum. Have you been playing a lot of FF games lately? Let me know. Let's see, how do they look like? Pullum and Pallum! Yay! Heroes. What are these people? Sister and brother. Ah, sister and brother. Very good, very good. Are they healers? Little snarky looking, eh? Let's see. Pullum. Being characterized by Pullum, official novelization according to Final Fantasy series Sete Shito Hen, Pullum and his sister Pullum were learning magic or something like that. I don't know. Let's see what that is. Apprentice. Artwork by Yoshida Yamada. Oh, what is this? Pullum is a casual show-off even to adults and refers himself as a musician, genius and prodigy. White mage, one black mage. Oh, I see, I see. I like that. I like the portraits even. Very, very nice. Yeah, old Final Fantasies, they had their lovely characters. I tell you. Haven't seen the game myself, Final Fantasy IV, so I don't know him. He's a black mage from Mysidia, who trains together with his sister Pullum, who is, of course, as we all guess, a white mage. I like the artwork, very much like a children's novel sort of fashion. Very, very neat, very, very neat. But now let's go back. So basically, idea is that when I go now down, I should be falling now. That's the problem. Yes, perhaps I've destroyed my own system, because I've in the past seen that this works, that when I just walk on stuff and if I'm not holding a certain key, I just fall. And it's not cooperating with me, at least it seems. So we shall see. I think I need to be actually, let's see. So the climbing, I will actually put it like this. Let's put it like this and see how it works. So idea is that if you do wrong things, you will fall, and the falling damage is actually pretty high. That has I've been able to calculate a pretty okay amount, the falling damage itself. But let's see. Let me see, does that function? So yeah, I do like the stories in Final Fantasy, the old Final Fantasy games. There's some characters and such. I think that, the old people that, used to make Final Fantasy games, they are not with the company anymore, not many of them, so that's why it's not the same feel there anymore. That's the thing. And that was I don't know what that was. Let me see, did I lose some HP? I did lose some HP, so I did technically fall. That's bad. Let me actually see. Can I do so? It's elsewhere. It's climbing on. Alright, I think that is a good way to do it. And let's see how does that work. So essentially, the system is kind of broken, to be honest. It doesn't function. It doesn't function at all. And the problem with that, of course, if it doesn't function, it can't be really much used if I don't fix it. I might actually have to build this from ground up again. But I'm very sad, because I was actually able to make this quite alright. So basically, the problem I was trying to solve is the fact that, the climbing system works. You can drop down and lose HP from this position to this position. The problem is that if I try to, I can actually just climb from this position to this position without ease. I want to actually stop that. So I need to do something, and I have an idea how I can do it. It could take some time to do, though, so we shall see. One is white and one is black. Indeed, indeed. I tell you, you're gonna like some, hopefully some gameplay of this game when it comes down to it. Because there's many different aspects to it, not just on battle side of things, but actually the water magic is very useful outside of the battles even. Water walk as example. So let's see. We climb. Very good. It's kind of running, but I'm going to be making it slower. So now I'm just pressing button without climbing. It should be kind of falling. And that was bad. The idea is, at least on my mind, when you are... okay, this is confusing, even to myself, goddamn. So the idea is, I need to be understanding. Let me actually try to press the sumo here, which is basically a which is drop distance calculation. This person calculates how much we're going to be dropping. Let me see. So player height is going to be 5, and then they go to height 1. So of course you drop down 1, 2, 3, 4 when you're on. Let me cheat again. So player height is 1. Nothing happens. But when the player height is 6, it's a high fall, of course. So you drop down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always drop it down the height you have, basically player height minus the regular height. So if this area is 6 and this area is 1, you're gonna if you come from this to this, you're gonna be dropping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's basically it, because this is the height system. The problem, however, is the climbing, which I think I have destroyed somehow. Now I actually need to be looking at. Let me actually see what it is.
The crystal clear.
Yeah, that's problematic.
Have anything planned to play Marduk Chapter 2 and 3 yet?
Haven't yet planned. I need to get, of course, back to normal scheduling fashion, of course. And yes, of course, I don't know how much just some development of this game really means to people. I'd love to see your strategy in Marduk. Hey, I will be checking it out at some point. I need to be, of course, I want to get back to the normal schedule, but I will. Don't you worry. Of course, it's some while back since the launch of the Steam thing, but still, it's a lovely game, so why not? I just need to get back to normal scheduling, and I'm currently making this as a main thing. It doesn't probably look much, but I tell you, this is going to be a huge thing when it comes down to it. So the main thing is when I come here, I look at the falling script. Let me see. I'll be seeing where the climbing. Actually, let me go back again. I just forgot. 12 is the number. Let's go. 12. Here we go. And search. So this is the switch for climbing. I'll be seeing where I have used it before. Because I don't remember. This is the thing. It's a problem. So fall script is 699. That is very good. 699 and 695. Let's see how those work. 695. Climbing, play height. Number. This is actually not useful at all. So let me delete it. Hey, Ollie Repair Dude! The mobile dude who repairs phones. How are you doing? Yes, I'm doing video game development, a very long process, and might not be that possibly the most entertaining thing ever. But still. Hey. Indeed, we have crystal clear, and probably you as well here. Very small, but getting back to stream on this thing that we're doing. Main thing, however, I tell you, is that I'm trying to be now. Oh yeah, indeed so. The problem here, however, is I'm going to be now. Oh yeah, I'm going to be now putting this off, this whole parallel system, and seeing how it affects the thing. I woke up and see your stream. Well, that is very, very fine thing to woke up to. I tell you, my friend. I tell you. Of course, it's there's got to be still some time to get these things back together, and I've been away from videos for some time, and I want to get back, but of course it's going to be taking some time. Indeed, so let's see how this works.
https://letter.com/eluukkanen.
So the climbing, because the falling doesn't work because I have like I don't know why it doesn't really work on when I just disable the falling script. That I can understand that. And also the climbing itself doesn't really work at the same time, which is a pretty pity, I think. Yes, I'm now forever climbing. This is basically a climbing animation for the whole ordeal, but for some reason he's forever climbing on the wall. That's the thing. That's the problem on this game development side. You don't know what is happening, so I need to be finding out. So I disabled the script, and it basically should be when you reach certain situation on there, you should be able to. Let's see. I should be able to. You should be able to. Let's see. 760. You should be able to go out of the climbing situation. Let's see. Let's see. Climbing height. Very good. Climbing end. And let me actually change this as well. The direction fix off. But how are you doing? Let me know of your day that you've been planning for today. All it repair dude. The people here have been mentioning that they've been doing great. I'm very happy on that. I've been doing many things behind the scenes, which I cannot yet tell because it's still about the game. It's kind of a secret thing. I cannot tell too much, but there's some big things going on, I tell you. Big things. So I do climbing. I can climb like this, very good. When I reach the end, yeah, it doesn't do the climbing, very good. So you cannot fall currently, but the climbing gladly works. And as you can see, I'm walking in the air. That's the thing. Usually you should be falling, but you are not. That's the thing. So now, one of the things I'm going to be doing later on, where you have like these kind of like a jumping puzzles and these sort of things. Basically, these are like, I'm going to be like, these are kind of like a rope tutorial sort of fashion. I'm going to be still making them more complex, and currently the rope represents this character that is from the MV engine. But like when you are down in here, let me actually go like down in here, like here. When I press this, I think I should not be able to climb it. Not reachable. Not reachable, very good. But when I go now back to here, it should be reachable.
Is there anything
Yay! Reachable!
I could always help.
If you need anything with the sprite, hey Crystal Clear, I'm very open for that idea. What sort of sprite would you be able to do? Actually, if you're able to do a good rope sprite, I would be more than happy from that, I tell you. Like a rope, like it doesn't need to swing as an animation, but just like a rope, I can make the swing within the engine kind of like to 360 if I wanted to. But you know, if you can do that, that will actually be very good. Here we go. So we can do some like very basic stuff. And as you can see, if I'm too far from this, I can't really reach it, as you can see. And I need to be on a certain height in order to reach it. I'm on the right height. Sure, very good. Let's do that, of course. That would be very wonderful. Of course, game development is a very long process. I've had some people contributing some art. As you can see, that sumo, that fat sumo over there, yes, done by one of my friends. I could try. If you can, of course, up to you. It would need to be kind of like, well, as long as you can, kind of like, I suppose, like this is like one character length is like this. If you can make it like 3 times the length of this character on the screen, I would be appreciative of that. I suppose like it would be a sprite art, and it would need to be 16 and 48, I think.
Everyone.
But if you want to, of course, up to you. I would like to see what you can do. Hello, PBSA. Indeed, I'm actually changing some music. I've been listening to this music too much. Too much of this music over here. Let me actually see.
Crystal clear.
I'm listening to music from this game again. I thought it's a very relaxing game, so why not? Sure! Hey, if you want to, of course, up to you. Currently, it's not like the biggest hurdle you need to do, but, you know, if you want to, that's up to you. That's up to you. And how are you doing, PBSA from the Portugal land?
What's the sprite size?
Sprite size should be around 16 wide, I suppose. Oh no, actually, let me actually see. Let me actually see. What should be the best size for it? It should be kind of like a very straight from, because I would like people to climb it. We shall see how it would work. Let me see. It could be around. So if it let me actually go to 16 by 16. This is like the main sprite size. And let's make this one a little bit wide. How are you doing, PBSA? By the way, good to see you. We are doing some game stuff here. So we are having like this. Oh, this is too big. Not like this. And let's see. I suppose it could be around this size, and the size is in here 7 and 48, and I would really like it to be this sort of like a sprite artist feel sort of fashion. Of course, up to you what you can do. Of course, would be lovely to see what you can do. But now, let's go back here. So as you can see, I'm doing a climbing system here, PBSA, and I cannot really fall. I can climb, as you can see. I can do some climbing.
100.
Whee! But I cannot fall.
PBSA. Hi everything, I am doing well.
Bad news! Well, that's not good. I have to pray to God that it will stop. That's the thing. It's a very sad situation. If you want to, of course. I suppose that could work. That sort of size, and it would need to look like a rope. But you know, because up to you. Up to you. Forest fires. Are there some big forest fires? Oh, hello, PBSA. Indeed, we have a jelly, PBSA, and others here. Now, how should we do this? So the main thing I need to be fixing from this is that I want it to climb the stop when you reach the ground. Indeed. Hello there. Hello there, crystal clear, and everybody. I'm going to be making this game here, and this is like a work in progress that we are doing. I'm going to be showing some progress that I've done ready for swimming and such. Once I finish this system here, hopefully I'm interested to see that happening. It's world exclusive, I suppose. I haven't shown it to anyone yet. I'm currently trying to get some deals with a publisher, a good one. I don't want to have a publisher that is a very nasty one. That I tell you too much, because the thing is, a publisher could be a very potentially helping hand. I've had some publishers. What are the publishers who like? There's the Hearts of Iron people.
You can write the size to me in Discord later.
Yeah, well, I will do that.
Since I will probably forget.
Don't you worry, I will send the message there. I try to actually find some publishers, and I look at the Hearts of Iron publisher, who's the publisher for Hearts of Iron, and all those like they can be good, but at the same time I wouldn't want them to be those. So I'm currently trying to be finding are good ones, because they can help a lot with the release, not the creation of the game itself, but the release. Man, that would be so good. That would be excellent. Now let's put the direction fixer here like this. Oh boy, oh boy. Will there be some kind of tutorial that teaches the mechanics? Oh yes, there will be. The thing is though, you can opt out of the tutorials. I hate RPGs when they force them to you. You can actually opt out in the options menu. Do you want active tutorials for things that you haven't encountered yet? So that's a thing. That's a thing that is in Final Fallacy. There's actually many systems that are needing this sort of thing. But if you want to discover them yourself without tutorial, that is up to you, of course. And I'm kind of thinking, should I make it kind of like in the beginning? Should it be like kind of prerequisite? What is it prerequisite? Should I make it so that it's automatically like ticked off the tutorial box in the beginning when people would be so confused? I don't know. I have to still think about that. Main thing is now I will go and alright, here we go. And like this is the thing, I'm now climbing sort of fashion. I can't really drop, as you can see. I can just like and I'm moving very fast, like and when I go to the side I cannot really fall. That's the thing. Whee! I cannot fall. I can only move there. I'm going to be actually making the game making you fall. That's the thing. Next thing, I had some problems with it, as you could see in the beginning, but now we can climb on this top of this hill. Yes, indeed. The idea that I'm going to be making so that you cannot actually go from this to this, but currently you can. That's the kind of the nasty thing. I don't want it to be possible. Yeah, that's not good. Also, as you can see, when you are down here, basically you are now down. Oh yes, you are down. You cannot. These are basically the ropes. You cannot reach them when you are down there, but when you go on the same height as them, I can reach them. Yay! And I can do some rope jumping. Whee! I'm not sure I'm going to be making them agility based, but still, this is what you can do. Now I'm going to be making, yeah, I don't know why it's doing this. Like, you should be falling, my dude, not doing this sort of fashion. Now, let me just actually fix it a little bit.
PBSA.
Paradox, I think they aren't the best for this project. I actually agree. They're better, they are the tiny build and all those that their game are around indie games. I agree on that. Also, when I looked at the Paradox, they had this little small print that said, if you send us the game we might not work with you, but we might steal your idea, essentially. Like, they are not directly saying that they will steal your idea, but they said that they might be using the same ideas that you present to them in their own games, and I was like, no! So, like, yeah, I lost my interest directly after that. I've been looking at some people. One is, of course, Tiny Build. One is Armor Games. I really like those two. We shall see, of course, how that will work with them, of course. The falling script now is very important when I need to be actually checking. The main thing here when it starts is essentially that it is a parallel process. It looks it all the time when the climbing is on. And climbing goes on essentially when we start climbing. Let's see. So yes, climbing goes on in here, in this position. And the fall script basically works if you press shift. Let me actually see how that works. If this is pressed down, that's a kind of a problematic situation here.
Armor Games isn't just a Flash website. Now that is new for me.
No, actually, the Armor Games, they actually publish some games, and they're actually very active on that sort of front. Tiny Build, kind of like same as Tiny Build. And they focus a lot on RPGs. They have their own site, of course, for Flash games, but also they publish some other games as well. For HTML, and I think mobile as well, if I understand. Might be something that I should look into. Who knows? Cool. I really want to find the cool sort of gaming dudes that are kind of like have the same spirit as the Final Fallacy has, indeed. And I think those two might be it, but there are others as well I'm looking at. But the main thing, it has to be the best one. Now the problem is here when I have the climbing system on. I'm actually, let's check out for one thing here. Here we go. The problem is that the climbing kind of goes on when I'm on this position. That's not a problem. It should be going on when I'm on this position, this position, this position, this position. Also, the thing is that climbing should get off after each fall. That's the thing, if I understand. I have to check that out, though. We shall see. My scripts are kind of confusing, to be honest, indeed. But PBSA, how are you doing? I'm on the countryside right now, and there's some bats in here. Yes, like usually video game bats are like the main enemies, but they're actually very cool in here. And I don't know why though. There are bats in here. Like usually bats in Finland, they're not like these jungle bats that eat your blood or something. They're actually pretty chill creatures. They eat some moss, not moss. I mean like insects. Yes. Here we go. So I'm climbing down, I'm climbing back, I'm climbing up. That's very good. And now so okay, the falling and climbing works. That's very good. All right, as you can see, I need to make an impact for the climbing though. So let's actually make an impact to show you that you actually fall down. Let's see. So let's go here. I think there's a sound bite in here. Falling damage. Let's go to falling damage. Through 3-1. What sort of game publishers you like yourself? What sort of people that you have actually encountered that actually are cool? Because as you mentioned, Paradox, like they have this sort of they are good with their games, I suppose, but they have this sort of reputation of essentially a reputation of doing excessive DLCs and these sort of fashions as well. I'm trying to, of course, find the good ones, and I'm, of course, not trashing these people. These are very successful. I'm trying to find the best one that just fits me the best. That's the thing. Because I can do self-publishing, but I tell you, I would be super, super happy to have somebody, working with people instead of just doing everything by myself on this publishing side, indeed. So now, even if I have to divide some monies on that, and I don't really care about that. I want to just it to reach on many people. So let's see. We go here, and here we go. So basically, impact in there. Now, the thing is that we fall over this. Actually, I'm going to be putting here this sort of animation to show that if it's high enough, it actually does some damage. So let's do a simple, basic animation from the engine itself. Indeed. But so far, I actually have contacted some of these people, and they have said that they are actually interested to see what the thing is about. I'm gonna be, of course, preparing the game to be 100% ready in order before I just show that to them, because of course they are busy people. I want to show what's the best.
Crystal clear. This is the best stream.
Best stream for you? Oh, how so? Let me know. Thing is, though, we're gonna be now climbing here up, and we are falling, as you can see, and not hurtingly though. So let's try to do a little bit climbing there, like.
Well, the best that I know are Toby Fox,
So we actually did some damage to ourselves. Damage, a lot of damage. Well, best I know, Toby Fox, pianist, Undertale, Deltarune, Matt Thornton, cellist, Temi Chang, artist helped Toby Fox and his game sprites Escape, Chasm, Devil's an Empty Path. Indeed, Toby Fox is very cool. I have very much huge appreciation for him. Of course, with his game style, he did some different, and he showed that you could actually do a very big game without making it all about FPS or just like world destruction events or this sort of fashion. I could do like a self-publishing indie sort of way. I think that's Toby Fox did, but I think it's going to be. I know that there are some good, like not all publishers are like these corporate elite people, like.
The crystal clear.
So I want to find those ones. If I don't find them, I do self-publishing. It's about Final Fallacy, and this is a calm stream. I will calm music makes me almost to go to sleep. That's final. Very good. If you want to know what the music is, I very much like this piece. I listen to it myself all the time. This is from Final Fantasy itself, from this spin-off game though. But I like the music a lot. It's gonna be listening soon another piece, but I really like this kind of sort of like a beach feeling in there. When you do on game development, I do listen to these sort of long pieces. So you know this works now. We have accomplished actually a few things that I was not able to do. Actually, did we? That's the problem here, as you can see. I can actually climb without climbing. That's a problem. That is a bug. And I can. Oh, and actually I died. Yeah. It's still in creation, I tell you. So basically, I think what was the problem in there was the fact that when you fall, I think it should be. Let me go actually on the falling happening. Falling damage. Let's go to falling script in here. Falling script, and the falling script basically works that you should be going with a distance of let's see, falling happening with falling script 230. Actually, I saw it just a moment ago. Here we go. So the calculation should be, I think that I should be adding there another. Let me see. So basically, when you fall down, it works with the fact that when the fall calculator, basically the number, is above 0 or 0, you move down, and the calculator number goes down. That's the thing. That's the thing. The one thing I actually want to increase here: how much player falls. Player fall calculator, that's the numbers. Like, this is a numbers game, computers, of course, number game. That's the thing. So here we go. We go to, what's the number again? 429. 429. As you can see, there's a lot of numbers in this game going on here. So 429, and I'm going to be actually adding the 1 and seeing how it affects to the whole thing. I want to see how it works. I don't want you just able to like walk like a Skyrim horse style across the mountain sort of fashion. I want there to be climbing involved, and of course climbing takes stamina and this sort of fashion. So not everyone can do it. So we go. Yeah, that's a problem. That is a problem. Let me actually see. Can I do it like... Why did it do it like that, though? That's a big question for me, though. It like it should stop you and like throw you actually from the cliff. I was not actually climbing on that position, as you saw. So that was weird. Yes. But I haven't actually played Deltarune. Like I heard that they, of course, they released the first game, but I haven't released any other chapters for it because I think it's a chapter game. Chapter game, indeed. That's a problematic situation. I actually need to be making so that it drops you down 2 instead of 1, because otherwise you can just like freely move around. That's the thing. So let's do it that it drops you 2. It's it might look confusing though, but we shall see how it looks, because I don't want you to just be able to.
When you write the tutorial for the climbing, make the text be like, to climb a wall you need to use your legs and
very
not
true,
arms.
very true.
Never look down and make sure where
When you tutorial for
your
climbing,
hands
make
and
sure you
feet.
climb to the wall and you need to use legs and not arms. Never look down and make sure where you are putting your hand and feet. That's actually a thing we're going to be doing. Possible like a crap, like a sort of not crap. I mean like I don't know English. This sort of like caverns? No, not caverns. What are these things in the kind of like on the rock cliff? These sort of chasms or these sort of things. If you put your feet there, it actually is breakable and then you actually fall down. So that's one thing we're gonna be doing. Or just press X and 1 up and down. Don't forget, many climb deaths happen by exhaustion. Indeed, that's the thing. Exhaustion is a big thing. Currently, the system doesn't calculate that yet in, but it's going to be. Let's see. Okay, that's a problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is a problem, my dudes. I don't know what happened in there though, but as you can see, it basically. I don't know what's happening. Playfall calculator is 0. There's some problems in here, big problems. And let me try to fix those right away. One of the problems is that for some reason you are not dropping at all. You are not falling at all. But very good points, PBSA. That is the danger. That is the danger of climbing. And I actually saw this very nasty video today of a person actually having a kind of a swimming camera and then kind of basically his oxygen went down, and that was like this very nasty footage and such. And yeah, that happened. That's the thing.
PBSA. And there are no strawberries, hearts and or flying gems on any mountain. You want any of them, go to a farm, a battlefield or a mine to get those by order.
There are no strawberries, hearts or flying gems on any mountain. You want any of them, go to a farm and a battlefield or a mine to get those by order. What is that quote from, my friend? I've never heard of that. Is that from Mardek? Because if it is from Mardek, I don't know. That's the thing. Or if it's from somewhere else, I don't know either. Strawberries and hearts. That sounds like a Kingdom Hearts thing. Hearts, but the strawberries doesn't sound like Kingdom Hearts. Celeste. What is Celeste? What is Celeste? I'm actually check that very quickly, but I think there's a problem here, which is I think combined to the falling script. Let's go here.
PBSA.
Basically, when you climb without pressing the number thing. Collectibles in the game. Celeste. Let me actually check that out soon. So the thing is, though, you press shift, and when you don't, it's 12, and it goes to climbing. And when the climbing is, it basically goes if shift is pressed. Else it goes to falling. I think it should at least. Yes, it should. It should, though. Yes, let me see. So basically, I've made so that, you know, in this kind of like notifications over here, when you press shift, basically it's the climbing button. If you have like the height is like this, okay, no worry. When it's at that again, okay, no worry. But then, oh shit, and then you like fall down, whee, and the falling goes in. I think in here, and this is the falling portion. The falling portion, I think, doesn't yet do much justice here. We shall see how it works. The problem here all is that you can actually climb up while just walking up, and that is not something I want to happen. So we shall put this number in here to see what the number is when we calculate this, because the number can be anything, I don't know, so I have to be finding out. So I put it like in this position, and see how it goes. Let's see.
Join a local Discord.
Let me actually see what the Celeste is, what you mentioned.
Writers, animators, developers,
Haven't been in eluukkanen for some while, because of course it's summer kind of I want to have some free time sometimes. But the eluukkanen is still of course going forward. Oh, Celeste is a platforming video game by Canadian video game developer Matt Thorson and Noel Berry, with art by Brazilian studio Miniboss. Oh. And that's some kind of a woman, I don't know. Let's go here. Celeste! Celeste the game. Well, I like the arts there. Brazil! Brazil actually is very good at a gaming country, I tell you one of the things.
PBSA.
Fan gamer merch.
Also, Celeste music is amazing.
Celeste music. We could actually listen to some Celeste music on here. I think we could. Let's do that. Let's do that right away, fellas. Let's go here. Celeste Ost. There we go. Let's start listening. Seeing what this whole thing is about. It can't be too loud here, but still. Celeste. Oh yeah. I like how the indie game scene is very cool. I think like the music scene of the indies is kind of like it's so much owned by big companies in music scene. I think the indie scene still has promise, but the music scene is kind of like a very difficult one. Now the thing is here that we shall now test this how it works. It's not yet super impressive like visually, but like this is the systems in the background. Imagine like Mario without actually doing jump animations and still jumping, sort of like that. Alright, so basically it actually did some falling things. But the falling actually should be a bit more than 2, 1, 2. It actually should be 3 on that position. Let me see, can I change that? Very lovely music, I tell you, at least. Like sort of like this atmosphere, I like. And I like this sort of like beat music on there.
Hello again. My phone just died.
Phone! Goddamn phones. That's so weak these days, but good to see you here. I'm on my phone. Well, not to worry, not to worry. I'm on here.
Clear.
I mean on my computer,
my
of course. Makes sense, indeed. Good to see you. We are listening Celeste music suggested by PBSA, and of course. Sounds lovely. At least so far. We have been only listening like a few minutes. I said it wrong. No worries, no worries. Nobody's no worries, but like no nowadays mobile phones are like computers, I tell you. That's how they are. Now, thing is though, we shall be seeing how much to play it. Play much falls. We go to the falling script. Did I miss anything? No, actually. We are doing some, like, this is a high calculation, very high technology, I tell you. And we are listening to some Celeste music. That's the main thing.
My phone battery holds for 2 to 2.5.
Yeah, I bet you. Like mine is like, but you of course, as a kind of technician, kind of like a computer person yourself, of course. I can understand.
Wait, what a
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, I tell you. He knows his stuff, I tell you. He has shown it times and times again. Now, let me see. So the number here is 230. We go there. And the main thing is this one. And we're actually going to be putting here a minus. That's the thing. It's minus. I think the minus was the problem here. Because the minus actually is the way... let me see. Yeah, the minus actually is the way to go. So let's see how it goes. That's a very long battery, I tell you. I have these extra batteries in case it like has to recharge all the time. And it can do like 1 day or so. But I don't use that much mobile phone, to be honest. I hate mobile phones. I actually purchased yesterday an alarm clock, a kind of a physical alarm clock, because I don't like the mobile alarm clock. I don't like it. I want to have a physical one. So am I falling here? What? That's weird. Alright, let's try to go here and climb. Okay, that's actually a problematic situation. Let's see. So, I think I'm actually going to be making, so if it's 0, let me see, for calculation, if it's 0, if it's, let me see, so, something I think like this system has is kind of like, I have to work on it, I think, a lot of time in order to make it work, but if it's not 0, we'll be making so that it is -1 for it. Those girls with purple hair, I thought it was some tiles to jump from a mountain to a mountain. Kind of saying we have jumping system here as well, which I haven't yet shown you. But the main thing, that jumping system is only valuable if the falling system works. Like I can make these people like jump anywhere. And those purple-haired girls, basically, they are like sort of fashion like that. I can use them for many purposes, indeed. All right, here we go. Okay, so as you can see, that information, if it's like running all the time, it kind of hurts the thing. So I'm going to be going here and taking it off temporarily at least, because I cannot climb if that kind of annoyance comes to me all the time. Indeed, annoyance. So let's destroy it. Indeed. So I can use this for many purposes. Actually, I've built many of these things that they visually look not too much like big things.
I also have the phone for tilde 6 months.
I have a phone for 6 months, always start charging 20% and stop at 85, being the recommended at 80, so I activate the energy economy at 50 and almost everything else off, like GPS, Bluetooth, etc. I heard that when you have like GPS and these off, they are still on. Of course, it might be a rumor. I don't know. You are like the... If I would like to know some mobile knowledge, I would, of course, consult PBSA. PBSA knows the truth on these matters. Now, let's see. So, okay, so we had some dropping effects, but I think we didn't lose HP. That's good. So now we actually lost some HP. Very good. And let's see.
The crystal clear.
We didn't drop. I use energy economy too. You do. Well, that's weird. That's weird. It didn't fall in that position when I had the chance. Very weird. To be honest, I need to save some battery on my phone. I have to do that at the same time. Yeah. I use energy economy. I actually have this one way to do solar panel charging for the phone, which is very good. Haven't actually used it at all, or to be honest, it's for my camping purposes. But I have this sort of solution, and I think that's a good way to do it, sort of phone charging. If you're like in the nature, it's good to have that sort of opportunity. I just actually purchased this because I thought that the whole virus situation is going to be like apocalyptical in the beginning. So I was like, of course I have to have a solar phone charger. Of course, it's a radio at the same time, so why not? So that's why I took that. You can actually, I think, get those on stores if you want to. So now the thing is though, let me see. That's a kind of a problematic situation. When I go to this, it does not. Let me see. There's a problematic situation on here which I don't like, which is that everything like goes normal, and I don't want everything to go normal just yet. Let's see. Jump denied, height is 1, climb is on, and it doesn't do anything though, which is kind of weird though.
Bean, it wouldn't surprise me, there are some phones that the GPS is always, even if you turn it off.
Yeah, that's the weird stuff. What are the phones that don't have that? Tracking GPS is off made by the signal towers. Bean, it wouldn't surprise me if there aren't some phones that are GPS always on. Fun fact, speedrunners use Japanese version for game because it makes the text and... really? Well, it makes sense. That actually is very meta, I tell you, if I know what the meta is. If I understand the meta. I think that's not how you should use it. But still, that's very cool. That's very cool. Thing is though, there's a problem in here. When I go from this to this, nothing happens. Nothing good happens, at least. So let me try to fix it. I think it's because of the fact that if I go from this position, let's see, like this, jump denied, and else it goes to climbing. The climbing is very important. It should be actually checking the whole thing, I think, in this position. We shall see. We shall see. How do you know that crystal clear? Have you done some speed running yourself? Speed running is cool. Speed running art. I was actually thinking of this, one of the things that I'm going to be making, so possibly, this is an idea, not yet confirmed, but when the game releases, I'm going to be making so that there's going to be a prize for the one that actually plays this game fastest within like the 1 week, the fastest like a finish, over the finish line of the game, when it says like the end sort of fashion. I'm going to be making and kind of like give a prize for that sort of person. I actually had this on an idea. I don't know, is it like a bad idea, crazy idea? I think it would be a cool to like check that out and see. I would like to make it sort of like an event for people. I don't know. See. So it works very good. Also, don't let your battery go over 30, it will inflate faster with the normal, and never go over 40. Not only will it inflate faster, it will also discharge faster than normal. Do you know how much -Celsius affects the battery life? Like, man, it's actually very fascinating knowledge you got. Where do you get this knowledge? Can I read it somewhere? Do you have your like own book of PBSA? The phone book of PBSA? I tell you, one of the things that there was this in the early of the stream, there was this person called, where is he? There was the Oli the Repair dude. I think if those sort of people who do phone repairing would actually give that sort of information about phones, I think they would actually be very big. So let's see. We try this other case as well again. I climb up, no problem. I try to climb down.
The crystal clear. No, I have never done any speedrun with games yet. The crystal clear. I was watching some videos on YouTube and then I saw a video that I think is called Why Does Speedrunners Use the Japanese Version, and boom. I got the answer.
That's the thing. YouTube gives you answers you never thought you wanted to hear. That's the thing. That's the cool stuff. I haven't done any speedrunner things with games yet. I had one friend who did it, and you have to use a lot of time and skills to make it good. Let me know, would that idea of having like a Final Fallacy speedrun, sort of like a event within the launch or something like that, would it be cool? I don't know.
Being to me is a bit impossible because the temperature in here have been 38 or 37 and today is 28, but my room is at 30 to 32.
I suppose. Could you try it out though by putting it to refrigerator and test it out then? Like people have refrigerators and such. I don't know what sort of effect it does. I've noticed that it actually loses each battery quicker when it goes below 0 Celsius, indeed. The problem, however, what was the problem again? What I should try again. There was one problem, I think. Now I get it. So I think it's on 105. Let me actually see what that is. I think it's in this position. Hei, mitä? Mä striimaan. Mä tuun kohta sinne päin. Mitä asiaa? Sori, mitä sanoit? Selvä, mä tuun sinne. Mikä äänijuttu? Okei, mä käyn kattoo. Yes. What was it? And I think doing an event speedrun is a great idea. I think it would. You know, I want to get some eyeballs on the game, of course. You know, as every developer wants. And I think that would be actually a cool event. I have to still check how I should be able to do it. And I might need to do a money prize on it. But of course, the idea is to try to get as many speedrunners on the event and see who is going to be on the top. And it's going to be a limited time, I think. So every world record after that, I think I'm going to be not qualifying. But like a certain period, if you get the world record on the finishing the game, that's the thing. And you have to record it. That's the thing. You have to record it. My brother was actually just there and said, "It's food time, baby." Well, not really on those words.
Developers,
you know, that would be weird if he would use those words. But it's food time, basically. I think making a speedrunning event for the FF9 would be very hard.
I think making a speedrunning event on the
How
game
so?
FF9.
Well, in this game, like in Final Fantasy, is a different cake. But Final Fallacy is you can finish the game in many different ways. So I think it's going to be a very different sort of thing, indeed, in there. That's the thing. So I think there's a real chance of speedrunning the whole thing with the game I'm doing. But probably not for some entries of Final Fantasy games, though. Let me see. I think I need to actually do the direction fix here and seeing does it work. Falling off.
The crystal clear.
Let's see.
Fun fact. The last boss in FF9 is not harder than the last optional boss called Ozma.
So the last boss in FF9 is not harder than the last optional boss called Ozma. Usually the optional bosses are actually more harder than the final bosses. At least that's the tradition I understand from Final Fantasy games. In this game, it depends, because the game essentially looks about your progress and makes the creatures harder depending on, like, if you just sit around because there's a time system and such, it makes the creatures harder. On the fridge is very risky, you could forget about it and cool battery as dangerous as a hot battery. Oh really? Well, that's true as well. That's true. I suppose you would have to like have just a refrigerator because of 4-8, I suppose. Let me see. There we go. We're on the top. And we go down. Yes, the cloud! Oh, and we drop down for some reason. Let me try to fix it. So we go up. Whee! We are fine. And now we go down. Okay, and we died. That's a problem. That is a problem. We're trying to fix it. So when you go from 101 to 100, it should be okay, I think. But I don't know about batteries and these sort of things. You are very cool that you know this information. I have to very much, of course, raise my hat and salute you, my friend. It's a good, cool things to know, I tell you. So the thing is, if I go to 6 on here, I think the height and the fall numbers and these sort of things, how does it calculate on that? That's the thing. I don't know why it's like usually. Let me actually test it again. Maybe test it again. So we have done some progress, as you can see. The whole system was a whole messy thing in the beginning. Now it's actually making some sense. It isn't yet finalized, but it actually makes some sense. So I go now. I press the climbing button. Up, 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 up. And here we go. I want up. I can release it. And voila, it's normal. And I can even do some jumping. Whee! Whee! You can do free jumping like in Spyro games and like these sort of things in the game, but when you have like these sort of certain objects like ropes, you can do like click them. And that's how it works. Whee!
Why does it say 105 and 101 and stuff like that on the stream?
Oh, that is basically, let me actually show. So that is the map that we are in. This is the game creation program. These are regions in RPG Maker MV. You can make like have different sort of areas have different regions, and you can change these regions, and these different regions do different stuff. Essentially, I can spawn objects to them. I can make stuff happen when you reach that area. I can make so that if you're on a region of this number, certain things happen, and when you're on this region, certain things happen. A lot of different things I can do. And this is like in a game, like a 2D game development way, very important, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do procedural map generation. I wouldn't be able to do spawning objects on map. I wouldn't be able to do anything without the regions.
PBSA.
Your battery is...
And my knowledge comes from what I learn of my courses, on YouTubers that talk about tech, and with CPUX, a program made by one guy that gives a lot of information about your phone as also how hot.
That is very interesting.
PBSA.
I'm actually...
Your battery is...
Yeah, CPUX.
Crystal clear. Astonished face I tested.
Do you do yourself some phone tutorial things on YouTube? Very interesting indeed. I agree. Astonished face, and I would agree with that. The problem here now with the system I'm going down is, all right, I can, but I'm still alive. But when I release, I basically fall down from this, which is a nasty thing. So I need to be doing that. The jump, the falling is actually going to be. I need to be checking on the what is the number when you reach this certain position, because I need to know. So when you reach this position, I need to know what the number is. Let's see how that is. But very interesting indeed. Quite fascinating. Because we need to know more about our phones, and I don't like the fact that they spy on us. Yeah, here we go. That was a little bit cheating, but you know, now we're here. And
the crystal clear.
let me see.
I always wanted to do a project that is about Mardek. The crystal clear.
Let's be
But
careful.
it is the OA keys in the game.
For some reason, there's 5 there. But it is the Anunnakis in the game. I would say for that is the problem. Problem with doing fan games is the fact that, you know, I don't know what sort of Tobias Cornwall himself does. I would recommend you using time to make a game possibly similar to Mardek if you want to do it. But of course, the unique IP, your own characters, your own things, it's important. Because basically, if you know from Mardek, it's... the Anunnakis and such, he didn't invent those. He got the inspiration from, I think, Sumerian legends. Anunnaki and others are like Mardeks. Those are the names from that. And the thing is, if you want to make an RPG, I would recommend to do that. There's a like even similar to that, I suppose. But of course, I would always recommend to do kind of own thing. Of course, there are some good fan projects as well. But the problem I've had some friends that have done like fun games for Digimon and such, and the companies have destroyed them like that, and that's the big problem there, my friend. So that's why I do not recommend on my side. Of course, I might be wrong, and you know, some games I do like the fact that they are fan projects. But the problem is that if you don't own the rights, you can be destroyed like that. It just depends on the Tobias himself. If he would like to go on a rampage, he could destroy you like that. And I don't know, is Tobias like that? I don't really think so, but you know, there's a possibility. It's like voluntarily putting a gun on your head. That's sort of the thing.
Crystal clear.
And that's not very good.
I can't make a project though, because I have a Chromebook too.
Chromebook! I think actually RPG Maker works with Apple products, if I remember. If I remember right.
Clear.
And that's just my thought, of course. Like, if you want to do our fun games, you know, up to you. But I personally would avoid them a little bit, because there's always a problem situations in there. Indeed. But that's a stream for today. I need to be going to eating. That's the thing. And I wasn't able to finish the climbing. I'm still going to be doing probably tomorrow another round of climbing. But I tell you, we have done some good stuff already. The whole system before was a mess. And now it actually functions somewhat. I'm going to be making it kind of like a Tomb Raider or Prince of Persia style of like a climbing system in there, like ropes and such. We shall see how it goes.
I also helped with this program by translating it to Portuguese and helping by answering questions.
That's very cool.
PBSA. Made by the users and reading the answers the creature does when I don't know what the answer is.
Hey, that is very cool stuff that you did.
And the companies that don't like fan games are the Japanese ones.
There are some Western ones as well, I tell you.
Clear.
Hey, okay, have a great day. Thank you very much for being here.
day.
And I tell you,
Bye.
there are some Western ones even that crash you down. Star Trek, to be honest, like that's one of them as well, I've heard. But anyways, crystal clear, PBSA, thank you for being here. We're going to be doing next round tomorrow. Hopefully see you then. Bye-bye, and all the best.
Streamlabs